traveling to this cathedral, having it being done for 800 years before you, just seeing the stone, the light. It's just sort of a trip. You can't think of a word. Makes you feel really sort of beyond yourself, part of something much bigger.
Are you ready to walk the I'm gonna get my labyrinth spiel. I promise not to do fake you. Alright, do you want to lead the way or should I? Why don't you go first? Alright. Oh yeah, that guy is blowing the leaves. Modern stuff is funny though. Like, it's gonna mess with your shot, but whatever. Do you want me to hold the phone? What do you want to do? Yeah. Okay. Recording with Fritz, very fun. So, yeah, labyrinths. I think they're just a really cool sort of, well, for me they're very spiritual. I grew up in a religious household. I consider myself still to be pretty religious. And one of the things we always talked about was sort of the meditative experience of walking a labyrinth. And, as a child, I never really understood the point of them. I thought they were kind of silly. It's, it's a winding path. It sort of looks like a maze, but, you can see the center. What's the point, right? I always sort of had the urge to just sort of run through and get straight to the end and finish it. But, as I aged and I learned better, it's a very meditative process to sort of, the end, where you start, and you can see the path ahead, and yet you still sort of take the long way and go slow. I mean, as I got older and learned more about the history of them, they're really fascinating. Seeing the one in Drew sort of brings me back to an experience when I was younger, where I had the privilege of going to a really old one in France at one of the big cathedrals. And stepping into that building, you can see the same pattern, the same process on a floor that has been there for, I believe, 800 years, and feeling sort of the meditative experience almost transcending time at that point, being part of the same sort of traditions and processes of, reflecting on the labyrinth for almost 8 centuries. That's really, really hard to wrap your mind around it as just like an individual. Like, I don't know. It was, it was a transcend. The word escapes me, but it really made me feel as part of a bigger whole, as part of a bigger whole of humanity, and being able to sort of take part in something that really transcends time, transcends language barriers. I mean, I don't speak French. Transcends language barriers, and participate in a meditative a meditative practice is not only interesting to do in itself, but to sort of follow the same steps in the labyrinth as those people 800 years ago is just a really compelling idea to me. Labyrinths themselves have kind of a cool history. They became popular in medieval Europe because pilgrims were no longer able to go to Jerusalem after one of the Crusades. And so all these wonderful medieval cathedrals with their really pretty stained glass. I mean, these were buildings that would have been like nothing else you'd ever seen back then. And within them could go and walk the labyrinth because you could no longer go to Jerusalem. And so it was meant to be almost like a pilgrimage at home. And it's really beautiful that they've survived to this day and that we can partake in the same sort of meditative process as those as medieval pilgrims in our own day and age and walk the same path. I mean, it's the same design. It's the same sort of. I mean, you can take what you'd like out of it, but you can feel the same sort of spiritual, meditative experience as all those medieval people. It's really, it's an interesting thing to be able to do, and it's I love labyrinths. They're just wonderful meditative things, and yeah. Oh my god, that was 5 minutes of rambling. If it's interesting, you're welcome to post it. But that's 5 minutes.
Thanks.
Random crap. Sorry.
No. It's okay.
I apologize, but
Do you want to sit down?
I guess. I could eat a horse. You probably know. Scramble up in the dining hall tonight. But it's fun to catch you.
Yeah, this is a great turn into you. I got you a gift on our journey.
Oh my gosh, right.
No, it's just a dandelion.
Good pickings, though. Where'd you get it? Oh, they're all around.
Somewhere, yeah.
I just don't know. That's what these ones that are. These ones are like false dandelions or something. I remember running around Drew campus. For bio, we got extra credit if we could find 10 species on like the species finder app. And so I found a dandelion, and I found like the one that looks like a dandelion, but isn't. It was terribly boring, but it made for a fun afternoon. There was a time I tried to find a slug in the woods, and like I found out that slugs are just really hard to determine different species, unless you're like a slugologist.
That's really interesting. Is there any particular reason that slugs are hard to tell apart?
So basically, the range of the slug, there's like the brown ones and the yellow ones is the short and long of it, and the brown ones and the yellow ones have a lot of overlap because the brown ones can be very light and the yellow ones can be very dark. And so with the images I got, and I didn't want to poke the poor thing, I'm like, oh, check the underside. I'm not going to check the thing's underside. Oh, I already looked it up, it's wrong. But yeah, those slugs, I don't think the iNaturalist people ever came to a conclusion on which slug I'd found, but it was kind of memorable to walk around campus and have to see, like, have to try to name things. I don't know. Like a weird scavenger hunt for extra credit.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool project.
I didn't love the class, but it made for an interesting afternoon. I don't know. That's a cool creature in the woods, though. They do kind of run away from you, but the slugs are easy to find. Looks like the miserable school children have been littering.
Oh no.
Yeah, the evil school children. They do a good job of keeping it pretty nice, but yeah, someone's crayon escaped.
My art history teacher was telling me today that because she took us here to the labyrinth, I've been here before, but she took us here for class, and she was telling us that she sometimes comes out here and weeds the labyrinth.
See, that's been, like, caring for it? That's very
Yeah.
innovative. Which professor is it?
Do you know Rita Keene?
I love Professor Keene. I have her,
Yeah, she's
I have her next
very
semester. I scored, I'm doing her, like, visual culture, 140. Actually finished my cat minor. Woo! It's the last 4 credits. But no, I love Professor Keene. I did her, I think she was my, medieval art teacher. One of my favorite classes ever.
That's what I'm in with her right now.
Did she do it in 9 in the morning then?
No, it's at...
Spoiled! You are spoiled! Oh my gosh. When do you get to do it?
Mine is at 11:50.
Oh my gosh, you're so spoiled. Yeah, no, mine was
Yeah.
at 9 a.m. and like...
I had senior studio before at 9:40 though, so
Okay,
it's like
yeah, you gotta go
straight
there.
from there to
Yeah.
art history. Although I have not been showing up on time for senior studio, like ever. No one has been. It's kind of just the nature of the class because most days are
Well, it's
workshops.
a studio, right? So you go in. Yeah.
Yeah, I show up for crits, but
No,
not for just like work days.
I kind of struggle with attendance for my digital studio thing.
Mhm.
It's the same sort of situation, and I just feel so much more comfortable creating crap on my own device than
Yeah, totally.
sitting there in front of the Mac. It's like, I don't have a Photoshop license. Well, I do. I legally have a Photoshop license, of course, but it just mysteriously doesn't work on the school computer. Mysteriously. So I wish they'd sort of work on studio time with the digital class, but I really like the professor. I don't know. Critiques could be more critiquey, but I think polite critiques have a good ego boost every now and again.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a good class. It's been a bright spot this semester, I'd say. I mean, I always like art classes. It's a little sad for me to be finishing my cat minor because that's just going to be history. But
Oh, you're not taking any more art next year?
the visual culture. But that'll be done.
Yeah.
And it doesn't count for much else, unfortunately. But I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to stick my nose around the dojo some more.
I really enjoy sticking my nose around the dojo.
Yeah. Well,
It's such like an
the
interesting
senior
building.
the senior
senior show.
Oh,
Oh,
I also like
yeah.
senior show, of course. It was nice to get a preview.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to show you around.
Yeah. Oh, do you think they're gonna put her stuff from 350 in the student show this year?
I guess it's possible. I wouldn't want my stuff in that class in
yeah.
the senior show, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well, there was one I'm pretty happy with. I did like a photography project, I guess is what you'd call it. But it's sort of a contemplative one. It was after I'd had a really crappy March, and so it's 31 seconds long, 1 second for each day in March, and it's sort of I guess it's a photography project, but it's there's these the vines cover me more for each week, and then finally I'm just covered by the vines. It's a very melancholy project, but I hope they appreciated it in the class.
Wait, how did you?
So I have a big old plant, like a pothos, and they're tough, so they don't mind when you mess with them. And so I sort of posed with the pothos, and then I went into Photoshop and kind of, what did I do? I just added more vines for the pothos. I copied the vine. It's the sort of thing where we don't spend enough time like looking at the vine, so it's not immediately like jarring.
Right.
If you stare at it, if it was really blown up, you'd say, oh yeah, I can sort of see. But I think it's passable. I quite enjoy it. I thought it was a nice piece. But it's like melancholy that it had been like stuck and covered up by vines isn't exactly a happy piece. But it's almost cathartic creating it. Like, sitting in your room and covered by vines is happy. How would you spin that?
I mean, I would be pretty happy to be like wrapped in vines myself.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe I would want to be choking on them, but I like the way that plants feel on my skin.
I guess my idea was more of metaphorical, like the vines are a metaphor for like being stuck, like shut down. More of less of the vines are necessarily the issue, but more of
Edward, how are you? No, it fell back into the tree. Almost. It's a cool little like common. I should know my ice dog. I have some of its pets, but common little salva. But, I don't know. Maybe make my voice sound even more suave. I don't know. Enjoy your weekend. I don't know. I'll catch you back. Good luck. I'll see you around. My book's safe, and have a good one.